LeGrand Elliott.
I'm Cindy Ayers Elliott.
And we have a brand new show called Ag and Culture. We'll be discussing all things agriculture.
But more specifically, how it affects farmers and ranchers of color with national and local guests.
And of course, we're talking culture, food, wine, health, politics, education, and so much more.
Join us for informative and fun conversation with guests from all over the country.
It's a fresh new show, Ag and Culture, every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. on the East, and 7 a.m. on the West.
Watch us on our YouTube channel, MS Footprint Farms.
And on WeBelieve.global. Good morning, and welcome to Ag and Culture, episode number 10. I'm your host, LeGrand Elliott, and as always, riding shotgun is my lovely co-host, Dr. Cindy Ayers Elliott.
Good morning. I'm Cindy Ayers Elliott, and I am the farmer here in the family.
I thought I was a farmer, too.
Good morning. It's so good to see everyone out there this morning. I am so happy to be with you today, LeGrand.
How was your weekend?
I had a great weekend. First, let me say hello to the sophisticated southeastern region of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. My sorority sisters, we were there all week in the state of Tennessee in Memphis. So
good.
Hello, sisters.
Good.
We were in Memphis, Tennessee. We had over 6,000 sorors there.
Wow, that's interesting.
And they did a lot of great things while we were in the city.
And that was the first time you guys had maybe been together like that since the pandemic, right?
Since the pandemic. And to St. Jude and also to St. Barnard, let me just say we appreciate it so much being able to serve the children of Tennessee and all the surrounding areas that's there. We actually brought 14,000 pairs of pajamas, boys and girls, for the hospitals there.
Excellent. Sounds like a great weekend.
It was a great weekend.
So Ag and Culture, our show, if this is your first time tuning in or subscribing, thank you so much. If you do want to subscribe and you like what the product that we have and the information that we're giving you, please go to our YouTube page and subscribe. A lot of good information. If you miss the first 9 episodes, they're all there with some amazing guests, and we have an amazing guest today as well. Our show is very interactive, so we definitely want to hear from you guys. Hit us up on our Facebook page at Footprint Farms, same thing as with our Instagram page at Footprint Farms as well. Yes. And you can also reach us at our website. It's footprintfarmsms.com. And if you need to reach us at the farm with more information on our CSA boxes or when the markets will be open, you can reach us at 601-910-5534. And we can't go any further without our acknowledging our title sponsor, which is Heifer International. For over 75 years, Heifer International USA has been partnering with communities and other organizations from around the world to help farmers build and grow sustainable businesses so that they can earn a livable income. So we're always proud and so proud to have Heifer International USA as our title sponsor. And to all our friends that may be watching us in North Little Rock, good morning to everybody at Heifer International.
Yeah, good morning. A great group to work with. We're learning so many new things. And the great part about our great sponsors is that they will be impacting Mississippi, which is a great segment to what we're about to talk about. And who's my special guest? Our special guest?
Our special guest. And like I said, I think with our show, we try to lead up and we try to be consistent with the guests that we have to give very valid and real-time information as it relates to agriculture in Mississippi, and specifically agriculture and how it affects communities and farmers of color. So we want to be very clear about that on that point. So we try to bring you real guests, local as well as national, to really give you some in-depth information on some things that are really out there and that to explore, and all this great information that we can get from these subject matter experts.
Absolutely. And the great thing about this also is that the information you'll be receiving is knowledgeable information.
Absolutely.
It's true in fact. Yeah. We always say to you, all right, listen to us, we're going to give you the information, but we encourage you to go out there and read, to go out there and get involved, and look around to see what's going on with you, and know for sure these are the facts, not what some people are just telling you.
Correct. And that's why we like to have it straight from those real sources. And we appreciate all of our guests, including our guests this morning, for taking time out of their busy schedules to be here on Ag and Culture. So without further ado, we're going to get to it. We don't like to do too much small talk. We like to get into the nuts and bolts of our guest. Our guest this morning is going to be Dr. Trina N. George. She is the State Director of United States Department of Agriculture Rural Development. Ms. George has been working in rural development, economic development development in Mississippi 4 years, and has a really good, strong pedigree coming from the office of Congressman Benny G. Thompson, where she served as Special Projects Community Outreach for Mississippi, and later on was appointed in the Obama administration in her current position now as State Director of USDA Rural Development. And Dr. George is so phenomenal and so good at what she does. She has now been reappointed as State Director USDA Rural Development under the Biden-Harris administration. So I could bore you with all the accolades. I will say that one thing I love about it, she is a native Mississippian.
Yes.
She is
not just a native Mississippian.
Mm-hmm.
You know where she's from?
Well, yes, she is from Grenada, Mississippi. I was going to get to that. I was saving that for last, right up 55 North in Grenada. She holds a master's degree from Mississippi State University, and she got her bachelor's degree from Mississippi Valley State University. So without further ado, we want to bring on to Ag and Culture this morning, Dr. Trina N. George. Good morning, Dr. George. How are you?
Hello.
Hey.
Good morning. So good to be here.
So good for you to be here with us as well.
Yes, we're so happy that you're here with us. And I know that we actually gave you a title, but just so I can hear it from your lips, could you tell me again? It makes me smile.
All right. No problem. First of all, thank you for the awesome introduction.
Mm-hmm.
My role and my title is the USDA State Director of Rural Development for Mississippi.
Okay.
Yes, and that's a great title, but I'm going to give you the floor because it's so important what we have in Mississippi as rule. But we want you to tell us about the programs, what's available, and your mission as director for the state of Mississippi with rural development. So we're going to give it to you, Trina. Have at it.
All right, not a problem. Thank you, Dr. Harris. I appreciate it. Again, it's so great to be here with you all. And as you know, I love to talk about rural America.
Yes.
So for those people that's on the call and doing this program, some people may not know what USDA Rural Development is all about. So I'll tell you a little bit of background about rural development. What we do here in rural development, we like to consider ourselves like an investor ally, an ally and an advocate for rural people. Our investment, Dr. Ayers, in quality of life. It drives economic prosperity, and it makes rural America a place for everyone to call home. As I like to say, we like to build.
So hold on, Trina, hold on for me. Apparently, it's a bad connection right now. I don't know if you're on speakerphone or not. You want to first try coming off a speaker because we're hearing feedback here, and I'm sure everybody online is hearing it as well. I just got a text.
Okay.
That's
perfect.
so much better. Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
that's perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was on speakerphone, but thank you.
Yeah.
So just to tell you what we do as state directors, it's about 48 state directors throughout the state of the United States of America. We're in all 50 states, and I say it 48 state directors simply because one or two of those states has one state director. Okay. And we also encompass Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. So we're all over the United States of America. Part of what I would say about me as a state director, you can look at myself as a Rural Development Chief Executive Officer, okay?
Yes.
And we serve as the boots on ground, so to speak, in every state and every U.S. territory. I'm also kind of responsible for promoting the mission and the strategic goals of rural development, and I also provide key leadership, as you know, to develop and support a productive, a diverse, and an inclusive state workforce. We have some great employees at Rural Development, and I just want to throw that out there to them. Shout out to the employees of Rural Development throughout the state of Mississippi. Yes. I mean, we couldn't do all of the great work that we do for the state of Mississippi if it was not for these dedicated employees at Rural Development. So I just want to give a shout out to them.
Absolutely.
Well, they're very fortunate to have you there in leadership, but they are great people around, and I want to say thank you as well because they really made a difference in our lives as farmers and in so many others in Mississippi. So thank you a lot for that.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Oh, no problem. I mean, they're part of how we get this message out. I mean, they help communicate the power of rural development's opportunities,
Right.
For rural America, and they also help myself as well as the president get the message out on how to succeed in rural America. So.
Right. And Dr. George, just adding that obviously our show is ag and culture, and we really take a deep dive into agriculture. Just as, we're explaining rural development with USDA, and for some of our subscribers who may not understand exactly the functionality of rural development, from a farmer's perspective, can you just kind of dive into the importance of the partnership of rural development?
Sure. We work with with farmers. On several different programs we have. We fund the co-ops, and I think one of the co-ops I know that I worked closely with last time we worked with the Mississippi Association of Cooperatives.
Yes.
And so we fund them, and what they do, they go out and in essence fund help the farmers with various issues that they have. We also work with the 1862s and the 1890s institutions. Work very closely with them. Also through our sister agencies, Farm Services Administration, as well as in NRCS, as you know. So it's like a partnership.
Right.
Within our USDA agencies that we fund the farmers. And like I said, I could go on all day actually with the various programs that we offer farmers, but I am going to refer that to the USDA page, USDA.gov page.
Okay.
Because it's many programs that can assist farmers.
Sure. And that's usually the feedback that we get when we have great guests on, such as yourself, as we're talking about USDA, whether it's grants or loan programs, that we always get positive feedback and people definitely wanting to know more. And one of the biggest things that we do see is, people trying to interface or interact with USDA or FSA for the first time. For some of our new and beginning farmers, what would you like to share as far as getting them acclimated to interacting with USDA, specifically with rural development, and maybe some of your sister agencies like FSA?
Before you answer that, Trina, too.
Sure, no problem.
Before you answer that, too, also add into this what will you do for cities and towns as rural development?
Okay, well, I want to kind of go on and answer that. We specifically at Rural Development, we have a program called our Value Added Producer Grant. That's specifically in USDA Rural Development's program. And so what that program does, it helps agriculture producers, as you know, enter into value-added activities related to the processing and marketing of a new product,
right,
or an existing product. And so the goals of the program is to generate new products, create and expand marketing opportunities, and increase the producer income. So with that being said, I think, Dr. Ayers, would you kind of repeat the question, because I want to make sure I answer yours.
Great. No, I'm saying that's a great segment way into how does it help and work with small cities and towns in our rural areas with rural development.
Okay. So part of what we do, again, is everybody know rural development is formerly known as Farmers Home Administration. Okay? And so with that being said, we're known for housing. However, in rural development, we have over 40 different programs to offer rural America. So some of the programs that we do is we build housing. We have our community development program where we can build community centers. We build schools. Nonprofit organizations can come in and build homeless shelters in their communities. I mean, anything that's that can, again, in rural America, you have to qualify for the program. But in rural America, even let's look at police cars, fire stations, fire departments. Anything that they need. Water system. That's a big plus,
plus,
because we have to have clean drinking water system. So
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's one.
And I can actually give you an example of a great project that we funded and how it assisted the county. I'm gonna just kind of talk about the town of Como, Mississippi.
Okay, but before we get to Como, because we definitely want our subscribers to hear that, we're up against the break, but we want you to hang on and definitely share that story. You're watching Ag and Culture. We're episode number 10. We're with Dr. Trina N. George. She is the State Director of USDA Rural Development. And after this short break, we'll get back into it with her and find out more about rural development in Mississippi. You're watching Ag and Culture.
Heifer USA is a nonprofit that supports small-scale, sustainable livestock businesses, and we are currently seeking individuals interested in pastured pork production in the state of Mississippi. Applicants should have access to at least 35 acres of land and be willing to participate in in-depth training, both online and in person at Heifer Ranch in Perryville, Arkansas. To learn about our operation, check out the Pastured Pigs playlist on the Heifer USA YouTube channel, or contact Farmer Engagement Specialist Ruth Canada at 501-391-5511.
Footprint Farms is a beautiful 68-acre vegetable and cattle farm located in Jackson, Mississippi, and is Mississippi's largest urban farm. The mission of Footprint Farms is to provide the community access to healthy food choices, introduce our youth to agriculture, and provide training and technical assistance to small farmers and ranchers. The farm is open to the public every Friday from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. to purchase fresh produce or visit us at the Mississippi Farmers Market located near the fairgrounds in February. We accept all forms of payment, including EBT and SNAP benefits. Looking for a beautiful venue for your next wedding, family reunion, or dinner? Footprint Farms offers a 3,000 square foot facility on 5 beautiful acres, perfect for your next event. For more information, visit our website at footprintfarms.com, Facebook and Instagram at Footprint Farms, or call us at 601-910-5534. Footprint Farms, farm fresh, city sweet. Welcome back to Ag and Culture, episode number 10. We're proudly being sponsored by Heifer International USA for over 75 years. Heifer International has been supporting local farmers to build and grow sustainable businesses so that they can earn a livable income. So once again, we're always proud to have Heifer International USA as our title sponsor. We're here with Dr. Trina N. George. She is the State Director of USDA Rural Development. And Dr. George, if you could just jump back into it. You were getting ready to talk to us about the importance of some of the things on the ground that you guys do, and one of the ones I know in particular that you were getting ready to mention is the water association and water systems in rural areas. When we say water system, we're talking about the big towers that you normally see from afar, and the sewage and water infrastructure that goes along with that to serve communities that are in rural areas with fresh and clean drinking water. So without further ado, just please kind of go back and show the importance of what your agency does on that front.
No problem. So what we did recently, we invested about $4.3 million in the town of Como, Mississippi. And what we did there was we made upgrades to their existing water system. What we did, we rehabilitated the existing $300,000 gallon elevated storage tank. We demolished the existing 100,000 gallon storage tank, and we replaced all of the existing water meters with radio read meters, installing approximately 12,000 feet of new piping, and constructed a new pump station. That ensured the safe delivery of water service for that entire community.
And that's big because obviously a town of that size probably don't have the financial fortitude to actually do a major water project like that. So rural development definitely plays a huge part in making those things reality. So definitely our hats are always off to you and your agency and your team for providing that to our small communities who sometimes feel like they've been forgotten about.
Absolutely. And the other part about that, Dr. George, and I love this part because it's small cities and towns, but also by doing this, you've also given them an opportunity to help expand that for new housing, for new development, for new businesses. So now when they go out and talk to companies or businesses to expand or to come in, they know that they have the infrastructure, which we know is so expensive when you're looking to do business. So thank you. And that's a great program. But you do this all over the state of Mississippi. And it is by not just by population. When you say rural, let us know what you mean on the population side.
Yeah.
Who can qualify?
Yeah. What defines rural?
Yes.
Sure. The rule for considered being rural is a population of 50,000 or less.
Okay. Okay. That's a fair assumption. So 50,000, and usually because we are a rural state, that's kind of everybody almost fits that mold, except as you get closer to some of the major places like the Jackson metro area.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that
approximately 80% of the state is considered rural.
Considered rural. Yeah. One of the things that that you guys are always, I wouldn't say famous for, but people really know you guys, is the USDA rural home loans. And I know that I was, in real estate years ago, and I know that for me, that was a big selling point for getting people qualified who lived in those areas who were designed by that. And correct me if I'm wrong, there's actually a website you can go to so you can actually maybe pull up your zip code and see, are you considered to be in a rural area, and that you could possibly, if you're looking for housing, that you could actually qualify for some of those loans. Could you just maybe talk about that a little bit and share some of the qualifications of the rural housing loan? Because obviously right now, the cost of housing, the limitation of actually how real estate being on the market, because as soon as it gets on there, it's flying, and kind of no matter where you are in the state. But just kind of going back, and you kind of talk about the USDA rural home loan programs that you have.
So yes, we have the single family housing program, and we have the guaranteed housing program. And I really can't just go into one particular qualification, because you have to meet various standards on that. But what I can do is give you the websites that you were speaking of, as far as going in and placing your name and your income in there to see if you actually qualify for that various program. Okay.
Sure.
But the website I want to give you is www.rd. .usda. .gov/ms, and that'll take you right to the state of Mississippi's website.
Mississippi web. Yes. Good. Great. We'll make sure that hopefully before the show is over, we can definitely do that again to make sure that people can get that again, so they can definitely know about that. Because a lot of times you don't know what you don't know, and obviously there's going to be a lot of idiosyncrasies as far as who qualifies and who doesn't. But there's a vast amount of information that's there, and there's some really neat programs that would be beneficial to the people that qualify. Definitely on that.
And Dr. George,
like I said, it's two different programs that I want you to be cognizant of.
Sure.
And again, one of the programs is the 502 direct loan program, and that program is administered directly through rural development. However, the guaranteed programs, we guarantee the loans from banks. So that's kind of the difference.
Right. Right. And on the first one, and again, I'm not getting into qualifications, but just kind of, if you could, the highlights of that program and why it's a valuable program for whoever may qualify for that, some of the highlights of the program.
Sure, not a problem. So at a minimum, applicants of this program that's interested in obtaining a direct loan, they must have an adjusted income that is or at or below the applicable low income limit for that area for which they wish to buy the home.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
So that's going to be the key to that. It's a low income limit threshold that they have to meet for the county or the area that they live in.
Gotcha.
Okay, and so now I can tell you just some simple rules and regulations that they have to meet. The applicant must be without decent, safe, and sanitary housing.
Okay.
They must be unable, to obtain a loan from other resources on terms and conditions that can reasonably be expected to meet. Because some people can't go to a bank and obtain a loan. Okay.
Yeah.
They also must agree to occupy the property as their primary residence.
Yes.
They also have to have the legal capacity to incur a loan obligation, and they must meet the citizenship eligibility.
So they have to be naturalized citizens.
Must not be suspended or disbarred from participation in any federal program.
Gotcha. So, and is this particular program, is it credit driven as well?
Yes, they will check your credit. Yes, they will.
Okay. Is there a minimum baseline score that someone would have to have in order to qualify for this if they meet the other qualifications?
I tell you what we're gonna do. I don't want to.
Sure. I was
just coming back in to be very honest.
No. That's okay.
I don't want to give you a wrong credit score, and then they say, "Oh, well, she said no."
No. We'll just get our subscribers to just follow up and go back to that website, and I'm pretty sure they'll go into great detail about that. So just trying to give people some baseline that it is a program, but there are criteria in which you have to qualify for, and credit is one of those criteria. So yes, we're good.
But it's just one of those because there's so many other parts that fits, and because it's for rural areas and for the income base, so we know that most of the people. Our people that will qualify will be low-income families. Yes. So that's another important part. But Dr. George, if we can't get on the website, if someone could give us a phone number, because are we in every county in Mississippi? If they want to go in and want to make a call locally, say if they were in Batesville, Mississippi, if there's an office in Batesville, or if they were in Ashland, Mississippi, if there's an office in Ashland, or how can they go in if for what reason they're not computer literate and can't get on the line? How do they find out information?
Okay, now they're always welcome to call the state office, and they can call 601 863 3875. And that number right there is specifically for housing.
Specifically for housing, yep. And Dr. George, the only reason why I bring that up because obviously housing in Mississippi is so important, especially for people that are or below the poverty line, and finding decent and adequate housing is becoming more and more difficult as time goes by in the state. So I'm kind of putting a little emphasis on this because I just want people to understand and know, especially in our rural areas, that there are programs, there are agencies such as yours that are willing and ready and able to assist in any way that you can. So I just want to bring that to the forefront and let people know that this does exist, and we want them to reach out to you guys for additional information and any assistance that you can provide. So definitely thank you for that.
Yes, and thank you so much.
Yeah, and I just want to just elaborate on that a little bit. That number I gave you, that number is to our program director for housing, single family housing, and his name is Ivan Kiani.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you a little background. He and I met yesterday, and we were just kind of discussing some of the things that need to be addressed as far as single-family housing is concerned throughout the state of Mississippi. And I can tell you this, he's even more passionate, I think, than I am about the program. So he understands what needs to happen in the state of Mississippi. He clearly understands that, and so he and I will be working very close together to make sure that, like you said, that the people, that this word gets out, as well as application continues to come in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's so great. And that's another beautiful part about you, Dr. George, with the new people and people that you have now in your armor. You can now send them out, and they know they got some support to go out there and actually do the mission. And the mission, we know, is so important of rural development for America, but especially for us here in Mississippi. So thank you so much for that. Let me also say that you got some we got some callers, not callers, we got some emails or texts that's saying hello to you and hello to John and some of the other ones. Eric, good morning. And so you have people that's also listening that's coming up on our screen. So thank you so very much. So Dr. George, we're going to now give this to you and give us what you want people to know and what we can listen. So just take your platform and let's do it.
All right, no problem. So I know all of you know that last week President Biden had his first State of the Union address, and he highlighted some excellent projects that's coming aboard and what he would like to see happen going into the future. And so I just want to talk about that for a minute, some of the things that he and Vice President Harris wants to see happen, what he wants to do by this economic recovery that we're in the process of going through now, is he wants to make more things in America, okay? Strengthening our supply chains and moving goods faster and a lot cheaper. That's one thing. The second thing that this administration wants to see happen is reducing the cost of everyday expenses for the working families that they face while reducing the deficit.
Right.
Another thing that we actually want to see is promoting fair competition to lower prices, help small businesses thrive, and protect consumers. And last and certainly not least, we want to eliminate barriers to good-paying jobs for workers across America. That's what we definitely want to do.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I mean, everything else follows.
And so part of rural development's strategic goal, or what we have here at rural development, is under the leadership of President Biden, Vice President Harris, and Agriculture Secretary Vilsack, USDA is committed to being an ally for people in rural communities by investing in infrastructure and opportunities that help build back better.
Yeah.
We're supporting America's rural communities on the front lines of climate change by building disaster resilience and making climate-smart investments, increasing access to renewable energies and fuel instructions, and creating new income opportunities. And then last and not least, I just want to say increasing equity in and for rural America.
Yes. Yeah. I agree with that statement so much. So many times it seems like we're always left out of those discussions. So we appreciate that. That's top priority for this administration.
We really do. And Dr. George, we know that you work with so many other agencies as well. So for us, the first time in Mississippi, I think maybe, I'm not sure if any other state has this for Mississippi right now. You're in, of course, as the first woman to have to lead USDA USDA rural development. But we also have now two other brothers that's now running the other ones. We got a commercial coming up.
Hold that thought. We're up against the break. We're with Dr. Trina N. George, State Director of USDA Rural Development. You are watching Ag and Culture on the We Believe Global Network.
Heifer USA is a leader in regenerative agricultural practices, like our pastured pork production operation. Raising pigs on pasture allows the animals to flourish in their natural habitat while building organic soil matter and restoring soil biodiversity. And we're sharing our knowledge with viewers like you with in-depth training videos on raising pastured pork, poultry, cattle, and sheep. Find us on YouTube at Heifer USA and join our online community of regenerative ranchers today.
Footprint Farms is a beautiful 68-acre vegetable and cattle farm located in Jackson, Mississippi, and is Mississippi's largest urban farm. The mission of Footprint Farms is to provide the community access to healthy food choices, introduce our youth to agriculture, and provide training and technical assistance to small farmers and ranchers. The farm is open to the public every Friday from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. to purchase fresh produce or visit us at the Mississippi Farmers Market located near the fairgrounds in February. We accept all forms of payment, including EBT and SNAP benefits. Looking for a beautiful venue for your next wedding, family reunion, or dinner? Footprint Farms offers a 3,000 square foot facility on 5 beautiful acres, perfect for your next event. For more information, visit our website at footprintfarms.com, Facebook and Instagram at Footprint Farms, or call us at 601-910-5534. Footprint Farms, farm fresh, city sweet. Hey, we're back with Ag and Culture, being proudly sponsored by Heifer International USA. We're talking to Dr. Trina N. George. She is the State Director of USDA Rural Development. And Dr. Ayers, you were about to elaborate on a point before we went to the break. So I wanted to kind of pick back up on that you were talking about.
Great, thank you, LeGrand. One of the points, of course, you being the first female to actually head this agency in Mississippi, which I'm so very proud of, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of women throughout this state and this country on what a rarity that is. So for you to have this opportunity to serve as a female, it opens up different things that people usually don't see that's heading these agencies. The other part I was going to say, for the first time, I think, in history, I know for Mississippi, we now have 3 division heads that are now African Americans. For one, of course, you for rural development, and Kurt Reedus for NRCS, and the new gentleman that's on, who's also a Mississippi Valley State graduate for FSA. Can you speak or just talk about your colleagues, any?
Sure. One, I have a great group of colleagues that's committed to rural America. I couldn't be in better company. I have actually worked with each of my colleagues in some capacity or another in the past, and it's just great to come aboard and have them fighting the good fight.
That's
I
right.
promise you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we had the chance to meet the new state director of FSA. They actually came and did a tour of the farm last week. It was very refreshing, as Dr. George alluded to, that the commitment and the level of commitment that these fine folks are really on the front lines and really want to truly make a difference. Especially here in Mississippi, and obviously both of you guys being native Mississippians, there's even a little bit more, dog in the hunt, as they say, to make sure that we are leading not only the nation, but we're leading Mississippi into a more prosperous 21st century.
Absolutely. And again, Trina, we want to give it back to you. If there's Dr. George, if there's anything else that you want to share with us during this time, this is a great time. If there's any other numbers you want to give out, we'd be more than happy to make sure that goes on our site as well. So again, we're going to give it back to you for any other information you'd like to share with us.
Yes, I do want to go. I want to double back because I like to be thorough.
Yes.
Sure.
And so you did ask me about the credit score. So I really didn't want to get out the phone without giving you a more concrete answer
Absolutely.
regarding the credit score for housing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the credit score. So you could have a 580 or above. Okay. However, if your credit score is below 580, you cannot have any other adverse factors like bankruptcy or debt-to-income issues, those sorts of issues.
Okay.
So that's it.
Would like, so for instance, when you say that, and like I said, I like to, for some of our subscribers to be absolutely clear, when you say those things like bankruptcies, most time people have either student loan debt or hospital bills. Are those considered major impacts, deficiencies for the program? When you look at like a bankruptcy, is it kind of on the same teetering of that? Because most people are going to have student loans and they're going to have medical bills. So is that part of that as well?
Yes, they do for student loans, medical bills. That all encompasses your credit.
Gotcha.
However, not to say that we would not work with you.
Sure.
Okay. Again, you have to come. It's a case by case basis.
Sure.
So, but you just one thing you have to do though for sure is apply.
Yes.
Right. And that's the other thing is to apply. And sometimes, obviously we're in rural America, the technical support becomes that much more important, even when you're talking about something as simplistic as filling out the application, be it on paper or online. And obviously we being in rural America, sometimes internet connectivity is not always the best. So if worst case and somebody's in a rural area and they need to and want to apply or get more information on this and they don't have internet connection, they can always come to their local office of rural development, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Good.
And I'm glad you brought broadband up because we are actually addressing some of those issues. I mean, we all know that we need to be in the digital age.
Yes.
Okay, and so let me just give you an example of some of the money that we've invested in broadband. We invested recently $3 million in the Bay Springs Telephone Company area. That's in the Jasper County area. And so what that $3 million was for is to construct an approximately 80-mile fiber-to-the-premises system, and that would benefit thousands of residents and 5 businesses in and around Jasper County community, the service area.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah. Yep. And those are the things
and that's going on really across the state. Again, I know as well as you all, if you don't have the access to technology, you will be left behind.
Yes, and obviously, and some of our other guests where we talk about broadband in rural areas, and it broke my heart to see so many children during this pandemic who their parents and themselves frustrated and kind of suffered, all because of exactly what you said, not having that connectivity, and more specifically, not having that type of connectivity in some of our more rural areas. So I'm so glad that rural development seems to be on top of this and trying to spread the dollars to definitely make sure that we can alleviate some of this digital divide divide that we have in our state, because obviously this pandemic really showed that we definitely need to narrow that gap as far as the digital age is concerned and our connectivity in our rural areas in Mississippi.
Absolutely. And Dr. George, I'm sure you can agree that what's happening right now in rural development and in rural America, this is going to really change the whole outlook for the towns, the communities, for the schools, again, which will allow more opportunity for expansion. One of the things we have to look at is keeping population and bringing in more population and keeping our young people in the state. So by having access to this type of technology, allows them to become more entrepreneurs at home versus having to leave the state even to look at this. So thank you so much. And to the Biden and Harris administration, I know one of their pillars that they talk about is America in general, but especially rural America. So I'm very, very happy to know that you're at the helm here in Mississippi, and I'm sure this is, with your counterparts throughout this country, best practices will be looked upon, and you'll be one of those to make sure that happens. So thank you so much. So much for that.
Part of this administration goal is to provide affordable benefits to every American. That's part of the administration's goal. But I do want to also double back on the value-added grant. I want to get
Good.
out there. As far as it's open at this point,
Yes.
Applications, we're taking applications, and we will be taking applications for the value-added producer grant from March the 1st through May the 2nd. So it's out there, it's available, and so we're encouraging everyone to please go and apply.
And they can, of course, apply and go to the website that you had told us about, go online, and all that information is there, and they can actually apply online, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Good. Good.
And if they need any more information, they can call your office, your main number there at Rural Development.
Yes. Hold on. Let me give you another number to call.
Sure.
Okay. All right, great.
And that number is 601-965-4316.
Okay. Okay. That's
That's the
601
main line for the state office here in Mississippi.
in Mississippi. 601-965-4316. The main number
correct.
for rural development. I know that you got so many other things that you need to do today, and I want to thank you for taking time to come into our studios to talk to us about this. But again, please tell us anything else you need for us to know. I know you're just coming in. Have you been in a week yet? So you're just coming into the office?
Well, I've been in a week. This is my second week. So, yes.
So we know that you're still meeting your new people and talking to them like you have such a great personality. I know that a lot of eyes will be opened by your leadership that's there for this whole state. So again, congratulations on that. But we want to we want to give you some more time to learn some new programs. But we want to invite you to come back, and hopefully when you come back, you will be in studio, or we'll be able to do a link to you that looks like you're in studio with all this new technology. We never know where you're going to be throughout the state. So
Exactly.
so thank you so much for that.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you all for having me. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to coming back and sharing some new programs with you all.
Sure.
Hopefully by the time I come back, I can share that we've spent over $60 million. So hey.
We like that.
Yeah. So, Dr. George, before we go, can you kind of talk about maybe some of the projects that you have on the horizon, or some of the other rural projects such as water systems or something along that caliber that you guys are planning, or you're strategically planning, or you're getting ready to launch? Can you talk to any of those programs that may be coming about, and specifically where in the state that they may be happening?
That's a big question,
Well,
LeGrand.
we have various programs happening all over the state. So,
Gotcha.
but I tell you what, as soon as you'll all be the first to know once we start really just kind of
Gotcha.
Announcing some pending projects.
Sure.
You'll be the first to know.
Sure.
That's what we need. We'll do that, and we'll make sure we have pushed that agenda. When you know, you tell us, we'll tell the rest of America to help you in Mississippi. LeGrand, without a doubt, this is going to be a phenomenal year.
Sure.
Coming in for Mississippi with the leadership that the President and Vice President Harris has seen fit to do, along with our Congressman to bring in these
Right.
great
Yes.
people for Mississippi. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to have one of these three-ways when I got everybody on to talk about this. We truly going to have a dialogue, and hopefully soon that round table will happen for Mississippi, and we'll be a part to help put that on. How about that?
Yeah. No,
That sounds great to me. I'm
always
going to hold you
excited.
to that also.
Well, hold me to that. If you need us anytime with agriculture or with Footprint Farms or us in general to help in any way to help move the needle for our Mississippians here, please count us in.
Absolutely.
All right, and again, I want to say thank you for having me, and you all please keep up the great work of getting this important information out to the people. Thank you so much.
And we will.
We will. We appreciate you, Dr. Trina N. George, State Director of USDA Rural Development. Again, congratulations and welcome back aboard. And hopefully we'll be coming to see you and visit your office, or you coming out to the farm to visit and see some of the great things we're doing as well.
Yes. You're always welcome.
That sounds like a date to me.
Thank you so very much. We'll talk with you
thank
soon.
you, Dr.
All right.
George. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
You all have a blessed day.
You
Good.
too, ma'am.
so much.
Good.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was really good. That was a lot of good information. And the thing and you have to remember, I want our subscribers to realize is that, you know, she just got the call, if you will, the nod to become a part of the Clinton-Biden administration, so that, you know, her pedigree is so strong coming from the Obama administration and all the great things she did there, that they saw fit to definitely bring her back under this administration as well. So it's such a testament to the great job she's been doing for the state of Mississippi, representing us on the federal level.
Absolutely, and for us to have the pleasure of speaking with her, and this is her second week in the office, so she's still
In the
finding
office.
her new office
Right,
again.
she probably was, you know, boxes everywhere and all those things. So, you know, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool
That's
that she's
cool.
back, and just knowing that we have somebody who is a Mississippian and proud of it, and definitely wants to put her best foot forward to make sure that rural development in Mississippi is going to be ready for the 21st century.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you said it right with pedigree. She not only has it from the standpoint of great universities,
Yes.
she has boots on the ground.
Yes.
Growing up in Mississippi and a graduate of Mississippi Valley, she knows what is needed,
Yeah.
and for many, many years have made a difference in that.
Yeah.
So for your organizations that's out there, especially cooperatives, if you have not looked at applying for
Yeah.
programs, please go and look at the website, but also give a call in to ask about these programs, or go for us.
Yeah.
In Mississippi is MAC, the Mississippi Association of Cooperatives.
Cooperatives, yeah.
If you go
Yeah.
into MAC, to the office,
Yeah.
and to ask, they will also help you find the programs that will work for you.
And that's the thing we really want to get out there is interfacing, and that's why I kept saying, you know, interfacing. How do people interface with USDA? And I just want to get, you know, our guests to kind of say, hey, well, you can just call us here, call us there for this, so that, you know, people aren't just so intimidated by the entire process of engaging dollars that are our federal dollars that we should be able to have privy to.
And that's what we want to do more of, is to bring information so you know what programs is available and accessible for all of us.
That's right. So we want to thank our guest, Dr. Trina N. George. She's the State Director of USDA Rural Development in Mississippi. We're going to come up against the break. You are watching Ag and Culture. We'll be back in a second.
At Heifer USA, we believe the backyard gardener can have a huge impact on their land, in their community, and on our climate. That's why we provide free virtual workshops for beginning, intermediate, and professional gardeners, teaching regenerative methods for growing healthy food while improving soil quality. Find us on YouTube at Heifer USA and join our online community of regenerative growers today.
Footprint Farms is a beautiful 68-acre vegetable and cattle farm located in Jackson, Mississippi, and is Mississippi's largest urban farm. The mission of Footprint Farms is to provide the community access to healthy food choices, introduce our youth to agriculture, and provide training and technical assistance to small farmers and ranchers. The farm is open to the public every Friday from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. to purchase fresh produce, or visit us at the Mississippi Farmers Market located near the fairgrounds in February. We accept all forms of payment, including EBT and SNAP benefits. Looking for a beautiful venue for your next wedding, family reunion, or dinner? Footprint Farms offers a 3,000 square foot facility on 5 beautiful acres, perfect for your next event. For more information, visit our website at footprintfarms.com, Facebook and Instagram at Footprint Farms, or call us at 601-910-5534. Footprint Farms, farm fresh, city sweet. Hey, welcome back to Ag and Culture, proudly sponsored by Heifer International USA. Heifer International and Heifer International USA have been helping farmers all around the country and the world to build and grow sustainable businesses so that they can have a livable income and livable wage and enjoy the art of farming.
Yes, and the art of farming is something great.
Yeah.
Let me just say, being a farmer and being an urban farmer right here in Jackson, Mississippi.
Does that include me too?
Okay, LeGrand is a farmer,
I remember
and
that.
he's a big part of Footprint Farms. In fact, he left corporate America to come to help Footprint Farms grow a little more, but to also bring these great things that we're doing right now. This is his brainchild, to look at ag plus culture. I'm going to give him that. He had the dream, and we made it a reality. No, but with this, it's so important because we talk about planting seeds in the soil, and that's important because we're going to produce some great food.
Sure.
But in order for us to go further, we have to plant the seeds in the minds. And by doing that, we have to bring correct information.
Yeah.
We have to do better with understanding
I like
what's
when
there.
you said correct information.
Correct information.
Yeah.
We want our people to know, and people to know in general, this is true facts. But we always say, please, when people tell you some things, go and read it or pull it
Verify
or
your
ask
source.
or verify your stories.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that what you're getting is not just fluffed and air or someone else's opinion versus the true facts. And that's so important.
And that's the whole point of this show. I would just bring it to the forefront, and I just keep going back to this simple additive: you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
So I feel like in this space that we're so fortunate to have access to people such as Dr. George and Lloyd Wrights of the world and the E.J. Russells of the world.
Absolutely.
That we can bring these people in and talk straight from almost the horse's mouth, if you will, about what it is and what is not. And I think that that's so important and refreshing, and to give you some real information. Like I'm really methodical about, hey, how can we reach out to these programs? I think what Dr. George is talking about is phenomenal, that people need to understand that these programs are out there. I know that housing is at a premium, and that's near and dear to my heart, because everybody, when you know better and you feel like you're doing better, you grow better. And people feel good and they feel safe about where they are. There's so much housing that's around here that is needed to be upgraded. People want to have a great place to live, and there aren't leaks and this and that. And USDA, granted, if you're in the right part of the state, which obviously 80% of it qualifies, so that's a huge chunk of our state, and that these programs exist, and you don't necessarily have to have a 700 or 800 credit score or have to rely solely on banks all the time, and you have a program where they actually will walk you through it, but also help you get your finances in place so that you can qualify. And I think so many banks, when you go to a bank, it's you either have it or you don't. Good luck with that, and they're out. Versus telling someone, this is not my forte, I don't know anything about real estate, or what do I need to get my credit right to do these things. But you have programs like that, and that's why we're bringing those to the forefront, like a USDA rule development, so that they can help you with those technical assistance to get you on the right path of home ownership. And because home ownership is almost that real a slice of Americana.
It is that, but see, when you look at, and it's a team that we have with USDA, with the different components, and everyone does something different, but everything they do coincides to truly make a better quality of life. And for us with housing, and we know that there's still so many dilapidated housing around this state, and in these, not just rural areas, but urban as well. But this particular program, rural is highlighted, but nonprofits and different organizations who also get funded from these agencies to help bring the information and the know-how. So there's people out there that can help you with your credit score. There's housing agencies that's out there if you're looking for a house, affordability. They help. And there's nonprofit groups that are out there that will help you work on your credit. And a lot of other things that's out there. They don't cost anything to you.
And that's the thing.
It doesn't cost anything.
It doesn't cost anything, and kind of helps put you on the right path of realizing that dream that you have. Obviously we're into 2022. We're only about 90 days into the year, and I know a lot of resolutions for some people is I want a house, or I want to get rid of debt, or I want to clean my credit up. But sometimes those are great things to do, but if you really don't have a roadmap in knowing how to do those things, it becomes difficult. But you do have agencies that are out there, and now you have people on board and people who are willing and want to serve the people of Mississippi on the federal level.
And then I go back from federal down to state, and then state to local. We were so proud to have one of our guests, Dr. Criddle, who was on last week, talking about the seniors and availability of programs. She's with the Mississippi Planning Development District, Central Mississippi Planning Development District.
And for me, and just like anybody else, I was like, wow, I hadn't realized that they did so many great things that were centered around, disadvantaged citizens in the state. Around, in her case, Central Mississippi, the 7 counties, but obviously there are other directors around the state.
There's 10.
Yeah, so that they help with those neat programs. And just thinking about it, we've had some phenomenal guests. I mean, this is episode 10. And this is, for us, this is going really, really fast. That I remember when we started in January with this, and now here we are just early March, and we're already in episode 10. So that's a blessing, and be able to deliver some real concrete information to people has really been uplifting to me, and makes me want to drive and actually do more.
It does. And then, of course, if you miss any of our segments, you can go back and review and look and pull out one that you like better or more information, and really go with your
Which
your
one
side.
stands out? I mean, we've had some great guests. Which one really stands out to you?
Well, I would be very biased if I said it was Eric. Hi, Eric. That's my youngest. He was our first guest.
So are you being biased?
I'm being biased. He was our very first guest with the Cultural Part, which is his winery, Water's Edge in Richmond, Texas. Shameless plug. But also to my good friend, Dr. Elora Spates. I mean, such great information, and working the university. We talked about all our historical black colleges and universities. I think all the knowledge makes me smile, because it's something that's impacting right now. Right now. It's not waiting for next year or what didn't happen. It's happening right now. Right. So we're happy to be able to bring that, and we got some more great guests coming.
And that's it's going to keep coming. When we first opened the show up in January, we said we were going to bring you local, regional, and national guests, and we want to definitely deliver on that, but deliver on giving you some real inspiring information that you can carry with you and follow through with. So that's kind of the whole goal and the mission. So far in 10 episodes, I think we're on the right path of accomplishing definitely that mission.
Well, we definitely got some other things we want to do, and of course we want to look at local, because we're impacted local. Politics is local. Our life is local. Our utility bills are regional, but local is important on who's representing us, what's going on. So the information that's out there, and we want to be one of the ones telling you about these great agencies that's throughout this great state.
Yeah. And she touched on something that I'm going to make it somewhat of my crusade, is the internet connectivity. And we're here in the metro area. We have privy to, you name the network, we have it, whether it's C Spire, T-Mobile, Your Mobile, whoever. We have it, and we have access to that. But I look at, people that are in rural counties. They're in rural Benton County. They're in Yalobusha County. They're in these places where, you've got to have the wherewithal to be able to have connectivity for the internet in the home, and that is the gateway to life at this point, as we know it, for everything from education to finding a job to just whatever. And that, to me, it's just so important that our FCC, that even our Public Service Commission here, and I think they're doing a yeoman's job of trying to make sure that our rural areas have a level platform when it comes to internet connectivity. It broke my heart to see, our school system had to be so reactive to try to quell some of it, to get, hotspots out to these kids and to their families, which I think that's great, and it shows us exactly how wide this ditch of connectivity to the internet is in Mississippi, and we can't say that want this brighter future, or we want our kids to thrive, and we want our kids to stay, we have to really, this is part of that infrastructure that we really have to bridge together in order to attract corporations. It's hard to attract for a corporation to come to some of our rural towns, and the connectivity of everything is over pipes of broadband now. So if that's not in place, a lot of that's not there. So if that's not in place, it trickles down to, that means our workforce is not ready for what we have. So that digital divide is just so important, in that I'm just glad our public officials are really trying to put this on the forefront, but we shouldn't necessarily just wait on our public officials to do
No,
it.
we should not just wait on that. I mean, we are the people by the people. We need to be exercising our rights
Absolutely.
to talk to our representatives, to let them know what's going on with you and what you need, and what they should be doing, because they represent you,
Right.
not themselves.
Not themselves.
So LeGrand, when we talk about the 10th episode right now, and we've had so many great guests throughout, I want to just thank all of them for being a part of our first, for us to get information and to be able to share it. But we look forward to bringing them back. One of the things I'm hoping to do, especially with the legislative session, we didn't get to finish this medical marijuana piece yet. And I want to, for all the calls I received and the information, yes, we will get back to that. In fact, we're going to have Judge Russell, E.J. Russell, now former appellate court judge, back with us to talk about legislative recapping and what's going on as we affect all of us, not just the marijuana, but also from the teacher pay raises to expansion of Medicare, so many other issues. With all these billions of dollars we have, how will it be spent, and will it be getting representation of all the people in Mississippi?
And of course, we'll definitely be watching for that for sure. Even on the medical marijuana, it's not so much as that thing. I mean, obviously, we've been reading the news in the last couple cycles, this morning and I think yesterday, where even though this is passed now, you starting to see ripples of resistance as some of these cities and municipalities, specifically around the metro area here in Jackson, are saying, you know what, we're going to pass on this whole medical marijuana thing in our town. And I get some of the argument, but what I don't get is, here again in Mississippi, when we take 2 steps forward, we take 5 steps back. And this is just a clear illustration of, here's the 5 steps back again, when we have to look at the bigger picture holistically of what we're trying to accomplish here. You can't say on one hand we want to get people off of painkillers and these different things, and now we get us something that's passed that could actually help with that, but we're starting to dial in on this criminal prism of it, instead of, it is not just marijuana, it is called medical marijuana, and we're going to have
it's cannabis, actually.
Well, however they want to say that, it's going to be legal for medical purposes here, and here's a way that we're starting to get into the 21st century, just like we regulate alcohol, we regulate lottery. Everybody thought, we're going to get the lottery and the sky was going to fall. Well, guess what? The sky's still up there.
Oh, and the casinos.
In the casinos, well, that's been going on a long time. I mean, the sky definitely hadn't fallen on that.
And we did get economic benefits.
I mean, that was one of the first things that came back online.
So with that, there's a lot of other things that we have to discuss, correct?
That's right. And
coming
that's going to be in episode number
11, 12, 13, 14,
Thank you
15.
guys so much for 10 of them. We look forward to 10 times 5 more of them. You're watching Ag and Culture. See you next week. I'm LeGrand Elliott.
I'm Cindy Ayers Elliott.
And we have a brand new show called Ag and Culture. We'll be all things agriculture.
But more specifically, how it affects farmers and ranchers of color with national and local guests.
And of course, we're talking culture, food, wine, health, politics, education, and so much more.
Join us for informative and fun conversation with guests from all over the country.
It's a fresh new show, Ag and Culture, every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. on the East, and 7 a.m. on the West.
Watch us on our YouTube channel, MS Footprint Farms.
And on WeBelieve.global.
We're
Footprint Farms is a beautiful 68-acre vegetable and cattle farm located in Jackson, Mississippi, and is Mississippi's largest urban farm. The mission of Footprint Farms is to provide the community access to healthy food choices, introduce our youth to agriculture, and provide training and technical assistance to small farmers and ranchers. The farm is open to the public every Friday from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. to purchase fresh produce or visit us at the Mississippi Farmers Market located near the fairgrounds in February. We accept all forms of payment, including EBT and SNAP benefits. Looking for a beautiful venue for your next wedding, family reunion, or dinner? Footprint Farms offers a 3,000 square foot facility on 5 beautiful acres, perfect for your next event. For more information, visit our website at footprintfarms.com, Facebook and Instagram at Footprint Farms, or call us at 601-910-5534. Footprint Farms, farm fresh, city sweet.
Heifer USA is a nonprofit that supports small-scale, sustainable livestock businesses, and we are currently seeking individuals interested in pastured pork production in the state of Mississippi. Applicants should have access to at least 35 acres of land and be willing to participate in in-depth training, both online and in person at Heifer Ranch in Perryville, Arkansas. To learn about our operation, check out the Pastured Pigs playlist on the Heifer USA YouTube channel, or contact Farmer Engagement Specialist Ruth Canada at 501-391-5511.